Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 218, and today we're doing battle with Heimerdinger Norra. And so, take a quick peek. We are not playing Shadow Isles, right? That's the kind of standard angle you see with Norra these days. You'll be seeing Norra Heimerdinger plus Shadow Isles getting the Quietuses and the Vile Feasts and the Vengeance, or you see Norra paired up with Vhagar to get access to the late game closing capabilities of the darkness to the face, whatever you call that, whatever boss mode Vhagar is coming at you. And so yeah, we're good. We're playing the Freylord cards here, and the big addition is going to be the Spirits Unleashed. This was recently updated with the 319 patch, and now it gives allies everywhere +1/+1. And so if you're not familiar with what everywhere means, that's everything in your deck and in your hand and on the board. That makes sense, but it also counts for cards that are summoned or generated. And so as we put these portals into our deck, the units that come out of the portals are going to get the +1/+1 bonus from the Spirits Unleashed. And so we've made our way over to Freylord so that we can take advantage of the Spirits Unleashed, get some really high-powered units summoning out of the portal. We do get some additional nice bonuses for coming into the land of Freylord. We get a bit of card draw, right? We could come out here and play the Avarosian Sentries, help us stall out the board a little bit, and then do the card draw thing once we have the portals into our deck. And then we have a card that's quite important in the current meta, the Unforgiving Cold, giving us access to these Frostbites whenever we have to play against the Vayne decks or the big OTK style Varus decks or Rumble decks, whatever they're trying to send that single big unit at us with. The Unforgiving Cold is the current best way to come in and deal with those. Now, you may have heard us mention, we were talking about Vhagar just a little bit. One of the kind of weaknesses you can run into with the Norra deck is everything's going just fine, right? You've got 6 units on the board, your deck is full of portals, you've got some removal spells in your hand and stuff, everything's going great, but you just can't close out the game, right? You didn't summon any elusive units, you didn't summon any overwhelm units, you attack, your opponent says, oh boy, I'll put these 3 units in front of your big ones and take 6 damage. Then they get to kind of continue on with their game plan. You weren't able to stop what they were doing. That's where we have the singular copy of Pack Mentality to try and give us a way to close out these games. And so where you would be looking towards Vhagar in the Shadow Isles version, we're looking towards the Pack Mentality as the means to get the big overwhelm effect and end the game in short order. And so that's it. That's who we're doing battle with today. You all know what we have to do before the battles begin. We got to go and pay the pay-to-win price, and we actually got to pay up today. Our boy Junk Construct hasn't been leveled up yet. We were not doing our part to play a bunch of Norra during her release, but now that we're here and ready for battle, got to pay up the price on that. Good stuff. All right, let's head on and see how things go, see what we go up against. I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. Okay. All right, what you got for us, game? Some Rumble Scion. Okay. This is exactly why we're looking to come in and play the Unforgiving Cold, right? We have the opportunity to, if opponent's making a big Scion play, making a big Rumble play, shut them down for a turn. Give us a bit of time to close out the game with the Norra. All right. Reasonable early game start. Got our Poro friends ready to go. Got the Norra in hand, the Junk Construct ready to block. Like a pretty decent start here. All right, and I'm not really interested in open attacking, so we'll drop the Junk Construct. I'm going to play the Norra last. I don't think opponent's going to do anything to make us feel differently about this, but we'll at least try and be a little bit safe with her. You can't make a unit-based interaction with her now since we got the affectionate Poro on the board, delivering the challengers. Oh, a scrap heap block. Coming at us, bringing the bamboozles. Sure. Get all those portals in the deck. Ready to upgrade. Say, give me some of that Spirits Unleashed. Unleash the spirits upon me, my friend. All right. Well, not the most impressive of boards. We've got the board stall thing going on. We just need some of the big level up capabilities. Okay, I'm fine to spend units wherever we can here. We should be able to grind them out pretty handily. I know it sounds kind of wrong when they've got the Professor Von Mech for the additional units, and then they've also put the the whispered words down to draw a couple of additional cards. But we should be pretty good here with the Donger on board. He's ready to summon all the extra turrets. I don't really plan on using him this turn. I'm curious what opponent was going to bring forth, because my kind of plan was to just play the Donger and then probably not attack with him, and then next turn we have a Troll Chant Mini-Morph to try and take down the Rumble. But we're going to have to just take this one a little slow. Not a big deal. We can come in with the Elusives. We can try and take down the Professor Von Mech, and then next turn hopefully we'll be good to go in terms of smashing Rumble. Not today, dude. My daring Poro is too dear to me. You will not be removing him from combat. We probably should have just let that happen. Just go into the next turn and protect one of our bigger plays, but I'm not gonna be about that today. I gotta protect my Poro, man. What did daring Poro ever do to you? He didn't do nothing to you, man. All right, Yordle newbie coming at us. I need that big elusive turret. That's what I need. All right, not bad, not bad. Sure. You fought hard, turret. You fought hard. At the end of the day, you did not survive. All right, all right. What perfect timing. It's so nice when things in game one go exactly to plan. So as you dum-dums come here for just the low quality play, you get to see one game of medium quality play with everything in the deck going right, and then those of you sticking around can get that great life advice that you get from your old man boomer FTP bust. I was curious if we shouldn't be playing a second copy of Pack Mentality, right? It's one of those cards that does quite well when you're ahead, but if you're behind, it does absolutely nothing, and so it's tough. I mean, it's one of those things we should have like a lot of time to come in and draw one, but I don't know. I don't know, man. Hang on. This is interesting. I want to deal with this Rumble. Like, how much are we even coming in for? Let's check real quick. 26, 32. He's got 8. What's that? That's 20-something. Okay, we'll just attack. I'm going to say I'd like to get this Rumble off of the board. And we don't have Challenger yet with the Broadwing, so we could play a backup unit. But this is not quite coming together to where that's going to be needed. Neg 18 into 14. GG. Rip him off, Pack Mentality. That's the stuff right there. All right. Good stuff, friends. Next battle. We'll see if we make it the full 8 games with this one. I was thinking that as I was playing a lot of my practice games, and that some of these games can drag on to Foreversville. And so we'll see. I like to keep these around an hour. And so if we're in that space, then great. If we need to cut it a little short, that's all right with me too. All right. Bring in them aggros, I guess. All right, one of the downsides with what we're doing, we don't have great interactivity. So if opponent comes down and drops a Shyvana next turn, we're going to be hurting. It's not going to feel good. But we got these sweet created allies for Norra. Give them a chance to spend all of their mana before we drop her down. I don't want to play her first and then opponent be like, cool, here comes a single combat. But she's safe now. No problems. Let's see if he wants to do some blocking here. We're going to have this Spirits Unleashed eventually. So, like, I know that we can't whittle down the Herald of Dragons just yet, but if we can kind of bamboozle him just a little bit, might be able to get a takedown here next turn. Interesting. Interesting. Picking up the old interactivity with the wolf coming down. Well, I'm not quite willing to lose our Norra here. So if he wants to attack in, we'll Troll Chant. We'll still, get to save up a bit of mana for next turn, which is kind of sweet. If we're going to be trying to play our big Spirits Unleashed, it's nice to have access to a little bit of extra mana. Maybe we'll pick up a cheap play and get to spend it all. All right. Well, spirits, come on down. Be unleashed upon the opponent. Give us a little bit of opportunity to get that Herald of Dragons off of the board. Looks like he might have a single combat or something now for Norra, but that's okay. I'd be especially happy with it if that was a concerted strike. If he has to spend 5 mana here to get Norra off of the board, I'd definitely be on board. Playing all the cards, jeez. That's right. Haste makes waste, but delay invites dismay. I didn't play enough Norra, man. She knows what it's all about. These people roping on old FTP bust. Nothing makes me more upset. There you are, single combat. I feel you. All right, let's see if we can't get some takedowns and stuff. Keep the grind going here. It's like a little scary in the sense that if he's got, I guess it's not really that scary. If he's got like a sharp sight to battle the stalking wolf with, we're not like really close to dying or anything. Oh, that feels really good. If we're able to just get wider than him now. Like, we're at the point to where we can kind of combat him with stats, right? Because we've got the second Spirits Unleashed. But he's just, like, adding 1 unit each turn. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. LOL. So get out of here, Zoe. Get out of here, Zoe. I'm bringing the big removal spells today. Another combat, sure. Rip Zoe. Look at that. So many stats on old Tavern Keeper here. How much do we have next turn? 7, so we can drop both improvises after this. Okay. I just stop and peek. He is playing Aurelion Sol here today. Probably just want the quick attack here. I mean, I guess the Rake isn't terrible. It's kind of tough for opponent to play a unit bigger than 5/5. It would have to be Cadrigen. Cadrigen's Shadow Isles, right? Is it? That's the only dragon these people would typically play of that size. But as Shyvana is tiny mode right now, nowhere near big enough to fight a 6/5 unit. Let's just go for it. If his hand is like Aurelion Sol and a Concerted Strike and 2 small units, then that's a pretty reasonable hand to have at this point, and it play quite poorly against a Scouting Tavern Keep. And so I think this is okay. The flip side to this would be, like, opponent's probably not going to be able to kill us next turn. And if we get to build up to a... if we get to build up to a big pack mentality, then that gives us some opportunities to just end the game next turn. So yeah, not awesome with the Tavern Keep here. Like, it would be a pretty close attack if we'd gone with the quick attack instead of the... Oh, Jesus, really? And Soul's just fucking cheap? Why does he cost 8 mana? Oh, the Eclipse Dragon. Okay. But, I mean, I think we're still okay here. Alright, well, if we're going for the damage, we need to do this. This gets 4 stats off of the board, taking the mini T down to the small size. He can attack us with Aurelion Soul now. Fine. We were just going to take it either way. But next turn, if we want to both pack mentality and many more, if we wouldn't have the mana to do it. So let's go ahead and shrink it up while we can. We assume that we just have to win this game on this next attack. Alright, deck, what you got for us? Wasn't anticipating dealing with Aurelion Soul this turn. I guess the hand was exactly how we called it, though, right? the Aurelion Soul was there. I just didn't realize he was going to be able to play it. But where are we at? We got 10, 21, 25, 35 attack. He's currently got 10, 16 health. So that's 19. And then Aurelion Soul can't get like a full prevent, right? The most he can prevent is going to be like 9 from the combat cook. So that pushes our total damage up a point. All right. Well, this is a little worrisome. I like the idea that he's playing the Serpent just to get a blocker, because, right, the Serpent should be quite good on this board. It just blocks and shuts down a giant chunk of damage. The one that worries me here is he's playing the Serpent to get a Celestial on board. Oof. Oof. Nice. Good job, team. All right. So did you all go and watch We Are Marshall last night? We've got our another Marshall hoodie on today. Let you all know you learned about the big plane crash and everything. the wonderful times, Marshall University. It's good stuff. You should go check it out. All right, so coming in here, I'm gonna just full mulligan this. The Sentry is a 2-drop, but it's not like on theme with what we're trying to do, right? We really want to get some of our portal generators down early. And it's just going to be cycle, and it's not even going to be good cycle against Ezreal Kennen. They're just not going to let it come in and deal damage. And so I think he's reasonable to just go ahead and get rid of. And now it's like, do we want to play Norra? Picking up the Troll Chant, I'm not going to do it. Hitting that one portal like right now, not the biggest of deals. We'll wait until we can protect her with the Troll Chant. Wait till we can protect her with the Spirits Unleashed, am I right? Sure. Alright, might have been a little bit aggressive with that pokey stick. It's like I start to get in my head, it's like, oh man, if this turn just passes, then we're going to lose a point of mana. It's like I know I shouldn't have those thoughts running around like this, but, you know, that's what I start to think. And it's like, we should just save it until he's got like a spell on the stack with this Kennen, right? If he's got the recall on the stack, then we can try and kill him then. Just a little bit too greedy with what we're trying to pull off. But let's see what we can do now. We got 6 mana, so we can try and protect Norra with the Troll Chant. We got a, we got some answers here with like the Pokey Stick as a means to try and take down Kennen, but that was a pretty big shutdown. Okay, this is not going well. Let's turn it around, Norra. This is where it's gonna get good. It's so awkward with just, like I really want to have 4 mana here and not 3. But see, this is the spot you typically want to be dropping the Pokey Sticks. I'm not going to be surprised if he drops in a Homecoming or something here, but right, the way that we spent that previous turn, we weren't doing it particularly well. Still okay though, I think. Ezreal's already up to 8. Was hoping for either Fearsome or Overwhelmed. Didn't hit either of them. This is just like one of these spots now. If we get hit with a Homecoming, we are just so far behind. But I wasn't really comfortable dropping Heimerdinger on this board. So maybe we can get him to spend some mana here. He's not like super invested in the turn because he has the dragon on board and he can just block and not take any damage. But hopefully we can build into the Donger next turn. Awesome. He whiffs. I mean, this is where we're at, right? We're just playing the Spirits Unleashed here. Kills 2 of his dudes. That's the most dudes we can kill this turn, is dropping the Spirits Unleashed. Okay. I'd much rather see Wuju style than see him play a recall. So that's at least nice. Sounds dangerous, bro.
You can fight, show me.
All right, so not bad. Now we can go into next turn, drop a Donger, have a bunch of mana. Things are kind of turning around. Can get. It's nice being able to like attack the Ezreal with the mini morph, but it leaves a little bit to be desired here. Wonder what his top card is when. Do they play P and Z cards that aren't Ezreal? Like they just have to play so few P and Z cards if they're actually playing the Kinku Wayfinder. That's interesting. All right, well, let's get the big squad on board. Let's see what the old elusives can do. We got plenty of protection for the next turn. An opponent's just passing. That feels like a pretty big win. What's that 4-cost turret? It's Overwhelm, one of the better ones. It says, "Oh dang, Bust, you bring in the real heat today." All right, let's go ahead and bring it in. It's like I guess we could like I kind of forgot. Oh shit, you get double storm blobbers off that thing? Planned it that way. No, I saw that we just needed 4 for the donger, and I was like, oh, we got to play one of these 4s, and then that was a little bit off. But this is looking good. This is looking strong.
Exceptional advancement in ballistics.
Incoming lightning rush. Sure. We just keep passing here. I mean, he's going to add more stuff at least. He's at least going to play another cannon.
I break the wind.
Gonna play the Mark of the Storm. Just curious, like, how far he goes this turn. And they can do so much combo stuff. I don't want to have to like go into the. I don't want to like give up on this turn too early.
Progress waits for no one.
The world's a big place.
Sure.
See all of it.
I don't think he ever just passes here. He's still got this mark in hand. I'd like to see him.
It's not bragging if you could back it up.
Yeah, that's interesting. Why? Does he think our elusive is stunned or something?
Oh dear.
Is this just going to be a recall? Oh, he's going to flip the Ezreal. That makes sense. So he'll be stunning the Donger out of combat. This will eventually flip the Ezreal. And that, I guess we probably just have to be trying to win on the open attack next turn. And so let's see how much stuff we can get on the board right now. I'm good to just get rid of the combat cook. We just need to be getting our elusives and overwhelms on the board. That's all we can do.
A machine for sports ball.
All right, well, how much you bringing at us, Ezreal? It's like I kind of want to overwrite the troll chant or overwrite the Florbegon, but that can't be the way to do it. We'll just keep the Donger around. We'll attack with our 4 elusives and our 4 overwhelms and our elusive, and see if that's going to be enough. Oh, I've been in worse spots, I think. Been in better, been in worse. I think this is okay.
It will be done.
All right, putting all those health points out in front. Currently coming in for what, like 18? He's only got 7 on the back line, or 9 on the back line. Big chunk of that comes from Florbegon, though, if he has the answer here. I mean, he shouldn't be able to get any more Mark of the Storms, right? He can, like, play burn spells. I'm hoping that we're okay in the land of burn spell, but... So what are we coming in here for? That's all we get to do? Our deck doesn't really have the capabilities to go up in damage. All right, that's going to do it. GG. Can't wait until Ezreal rotates. I cannot wait. All right, next game. It's one of those cards. It's just like Lee Sin. Lee Sin's in the same camp. You're the kind of like goal in the game is to find that point to where it feels like you're playing a good amount of game, right? The length of game that you actually want to hang on to both of these and try and battle action with them. Is this some kind of weird deck? So is he doing non-standard things? Is this going to be some kind of weird card draw deck? Okay, but no. So I don't know what point Riot is trying to say, hey, this is what the length of a game should be. It's not the game going to like turn 15, right? The games don't go to turn 15. When the what's her name? The Talia Lissandra meta was running around, where Talia Lissandra would win on turn 7, the Winding Lights would win on turn 7. It was basically just a turn 7 format. Riot kind of said that was too fast, and they seem to be slowing it down to this space to where decks either win on turn 8 or turn 9. And the kind of, we're just gonna take this. I'm not battling quick attacking action this turn with our Norra. But where it seems like the kind of space that they go, right, trying to get in between turn 8 and turn 9. But depending on how much you let the format slow down, then decks like Ezreal and decks like Lee Sin are going to mess with that, right? You're going to get to the point to where if you're saying it's a turn 12 format, right? We want everyone to have 2 or 3 turns at maximum mana. That would be like a turn 12 format. Then you can't have Ezreal, right? You can't have Ezreal because he's just going to win the game on turn 10 every time. And so all you can do is keep upgrading his level up ability and hoping that that's enough to make him reasonable in combat. And the same thing is with Lee Sin. If you're saying, okay, well, this is going to be a turn 13 format, you can't have Lee Sin flip at 10, right? And so they completely just have this oops, I win factor if the game goes for so long, which I guess isn't like a terrible thing, but I don't think it's exactly what they want. All right, anyways, though. I think this is okay. It's getting a little rough here. We've got this kind of awkward hand. That was a quite good Ruthless Predator on the previous turn. Oh no, we were looking to play the Unforgiving Cold. Where did this shit even come from? Oh, he bursted in. Okay. I was going to say, now our good spells are going to be going on to the Vagabond, which is a little bit unfortunate. I wanted to kill the action here. But not terrible, I guess. We still got some board. We're about to unleash some spirits. Could be okay. That's all I want to be, man. Just kind of okay. just a little okay, please. All right, maybe we should have let given the Twisted Fate the 0 attack. We can still just like attack with the Wandering Shepherd here. She has Fearsome, but I think that's the space we're in. If he wants to play combat tricks, that's completely fine. All right, well, we've hit a lot of our big abilities. Opponent's pretty low on cards. We're pretty healthy. He's not going to be killing us with the Absolver or anything here, and so we got some opportunity. That's a pretty good card draw.
This is justice.
I said bonk.
Okay, take the Twisted Fate down before he's able to get his flip ability in. He was getting really close. Sure. All right, big action coming at you. What do we got? More Spirits Unleashed. It's not quite time for you. We gotta get something a little bit better going here. He goes for draw 2, gets a bunch of stuff going. You do not have much going at all.
I still see far and clear.
Rather be sailing, but this looks fun too.
What's Ibaros cost? Well, he doesn't have Overwhelm or anything. What a shitty card. Okay. It's like you start to worry about Ibaros, and then you're like, oh, you don't have any stats that matter. You could be 100, 100, and it wouldn't matter. Zolani matters, but you most certainly don't. All right, but yeah, this is a fairly big bummer here. We got a lot of good going on with our Spirits Unleashed, but we don't have any of the portals to really like pop off with these sentries.
I'm always up for a round or two. Blue as the serpentine.
Try and make the one big unit out of the Shepherd. Nope, it's not going to happen.
What's this? A new flock.
Cool eye bat.
Did you like it? I mean, shut up and fight.
Come on in.
All right, well, let's see where this gets us. Our units are on the board. I mean,
Hey, stop that.
need something like this. Give an ally 2 health, okay. Give an ally neg attack, sure.
Ready the torches.
They look like winning combats at this point. I suspect he's going to have a trick for at least one of these, but you need to have something go right here. He's been powering through this way too hard.
Light the signal fire.
All right, well, the Donger's typically a good answer to a lot of our problems. We just gotta draw a spell next turn. Maybe we'll hit a Portal Palooza, something cool. Unforgiving Cold, useful for next turn. Do we want to go ahead and deploy it this turn though? If we want to get the double overwhelms. He's at 15. These are gonna be 4 6s. They're gonna be 6 attacks. We have 12 attack with the overwhelms on board. It's not enough for lethal. We probably just have to wait until next turn.
We'll see which one of us is stronger, Akshan.
Have we met?
Okay. And mini morph. All right. So my only concern here now would be like a siphoning strike. If he's got it, he's got it. I guess we gotta get something to usher in victory here. We can deal with this double Zolani. That's not a big deal. Let's put the Pan of Pain onto our Donger. He's gonna have to block next turn. So if he's blocking, I want him to be ready. And now, I don't think there's much reason to put the Fix Him Up onto the Tavern Keeper. Okay, we might turn this one around. So let's see. We're going to bring one of these double Frostbites. That'll handle the 2 big ones. Got a mini morph. Let's drop that onto Twisted Fate. He's the next scary one with him popping off those abilities. Then we have this tough Heimerdinger ready for the action. If he has another combat trick here, it's okay. We've extracted our value out of the Donger.
Unacceptable advancement in ballistics.
Oh, 2020 Ibaros. Uh-oh. I feel bad, man. I feel bad. He's so big, he has such size, and it is just so irrelevant. You gotta have a you gotta have a atrocity or something to go with him. Alright, he's doing some stuff, sure. How fast do we have to be to get on this board? I'm curious if we have time to play the to play the unit that comes out of the pack mentality. Because right, he's kind of a bummer here in that he doesn't have overwhelm. He just gets blocked by Abaros, but got to try to get these damages in somewhere.
Unbreakable as thermodynamics.
How bad is this one? Is this going to be a deck that like really has quicksand in it?
Finders keepers.
Maybe he did get enough stats here. Grappling hook, that's fucking annoying. Maybe we don't have enough now. So Ibarras is just going to block our 10, right? That's happening. The two... Let's see. Don't think we have enough. Which is this? Well, let's just find out. If we don't win the game here this turn, we've lost this game anyways. And so, oh, that was the problem to my math was thinking that he had to. He could have just put his smallest unit in front of the barrier thing. I got you. GG nonetheless. Thought we were going to come back in there with the return of the donger and the double overwhelms. Just a little bit too short. It's tough. Like this feels like one of those decks to where we should just have infinite value, but we haven't been really getting a lot of these portal draws, right? Once Nora's not hanging out on the board, we've been kind of struggling in terms of getting those kind of incidental stats on the board. But for here, we can hang on to the Spirits Unleashed. That's fine. I assume with this like Zoe Leona deck, they're going to just have a lot of 1 health units. And so I'm looking to kind of get double duty out of the Spirits Unleashed in the Pokey Stick. I was at least hoping that we had the way to the way to come in and combat a Zoe or a cheap Trifarian or something. All right, but I'm not going to get too aggressive on this board. We're just going to look to play the Spirits Unleashed next turn. Look how gigantic my units are, bro. No one can handle the size of our units. All right, just the construct. Really surprised he didn't trade with the Solari, but that's okay. Should be safe to drop a Donger now. Stop to think. I'm curious what removal spell they would have that they could come after the Donger here with. It's typically like a strike card, but this is okay. Get on board just a little bit. Fought valiantly, Donger. You fought hard. I believed in your abilities.
Shining gifts from the sky.
And a Sunforger. Sure.
Radiant strikes.
Whatever we can trade to kill this thing with sounds good. Good job, Senna. Good fight, good battle. I appreciate all the efforts you put forth. You will be rewarded greatly in your afterlife of choice. Alright, let's send him in. This is one of these turns where I just want to like bank a little bit and then see if we can't drop another donger. Like, he's not doing enough to pressure on what we're doing, but we are in about to hit this spot that I was talking about is why I want the pack mentality in our deck, right? He's got he's going to have a lot of width on board. We're going to attack with a bunch of dudes and probably not be able to deal any damage. It's at least an overwhelm with the fish whack. Now it gets us lined up to drop the doubled up unforgiving colds if we need to. Give me the darkness. It's like we're playing we're playing the Vagar version.
The dawn has arrived.
May it never leave.
Okay, so our donger should be okay here. He can still drop a what's he gonna do? He's gonna bring a challenge on him. That's okay. He's gonna hook him with Leona, and we can many morph. Should be pretty obvious. Some amount of shenanigans are up. The Sunburst is the one I was worried about. I was like, I don't think he's still going to play it, but he might. What happens with this? He gets some big units and then one stun. Okay. Alright, so far so good. We've got to play the Florbegon. I'm curious if there's ever a world where he just doesn't attack here, but... Ooh. This is not what I was expecting. More than happy to just trade away anything that we can. Guess we didn't have as many trades as I envisioned, but I think this is okay. We can super easily refill next turn. Okay. All right, so I'm looking at, we'll see what we hit in terms of portals. We only have the one in our deck. I'm looking to play the Portal Palooza and then follow up with the Unforgiving Cold, hopefully with him having a couple more units on the board. Should get us in a pretty decent spot here. Just his deck's interactivity is pretty low.
Our light shine forever.
Exceptional advancement in ballistics.
Bird coming in.
A machine for sports ball. I'm armed. Am I not?
All right, barely presenting the lethal. I thought we were going to have a lot more than that, but I think this is still okay, especially if we're getting to take down 2 units. We have the second Unforgiving Cold. The next turn, hopefully it's finally enough if we're dropping pack mentalities. This has been a lot more health than I envisioned I was going to have problems dealing with. Living Legends, okay. We're going to get a chance to darkness down the Sun Guardian. It's like sometimes these random Targon decks will play... we'll play like Targon Shields, the +2 health thing, but I mean, I have a hard time believing that's going to be here if you're also playing Noxus. Ooh, nice. That was pretty cool if you ask me.
May you find what you seek.
And fire!
I mean, do we ever need to Unforgiving Cold this turn? I don't think we do. Let's go. Let's go for the highlight reel, right? Let's go for it. So you got stats on board. I can get stats on board, my friend. Lols. All right, Silver Sister coming in.
Novel design enables rapid projectile firing.
All right, we better bank that mana. I really wanted to just come in for the pack mentality win, but I feel like we should probably save this Unforgiving Cold. Things have managed to go wrong, and so let's see how this can go. Spell Thief, okay. Sure. We can still get more overwhelms on the board with the Unforgiven Cold, but let's see what he does. I thought he just spent a lot more mana. It seemed like he did a whole bunch of stuff. I guess he didn't spend that much.
You're looking at Iomia's cooking chef 10 times running.
It didn't hit the Golden Sister. We knew we were going to hit Ravoon. It was coin flipping on the Golden Sister versus the Silver, and it hit the wrong one. That's a little bit unfortunate. Finally takes down the Donger. All right. You fought hard, my dude. You fought hard. Alright, I don't think it's going to completely matter here. Oh, that makes sense. But I was going to say, I want to put our barrier unit to the left. If you block a barrier with a lifesteal, you don't gain anything. Then I wanted our quick attack unit to be the next one. Same deal. If you block with the... if you block with it, then you don't get to do the gaining. He could have survived this. I think he could have... He missed putting his Silver Sister over one. But... GG. All right, and yeah, we're encroaching in on the hour mark. Let's just do one more. We typically do 8. Let's just do 6 today. See if we can't get another good set of battles in here. See if we can't get the highest of rolls. No low rolls today, only the highs against Gangplank Sejuani. All right, not a great start. We got to have the early game interactivity against this thing. Much better, much better. Lonely Poro here to trade with that Omen Hawk. The junk construct to stop the next set of units. I'm in. You're about to be jubilant, little Poro. But here, more than happy to play the junk construct, right? The typical sequence you're going to see against this kind of decks, they're going to play a 2-cost 3-power Overwhelmer on turn 2. And if we get to play the junk construct and trade with it, that's better for us than him attacking us and us having to take the points of Overwhelm damage. You typically want to just do everything you can to stop this deck from dealing damage to you, right? If you can make them wait until turn 7 or turn 8 before they're able to flip their Sejuanis, then that's just such a gigantic win for you. Seems like a pretty awkward draw for opponent.
You did one Yordle photo and suddenly geography means nothing.
All right. Well, not a bad set of dudes now. We took the combat reel. That lets us make an attack and then troll chant in the middle of combat. So that's going to be strong. As boosting up our Sinister Poro, because that's the one that I assume is just going to come out here and die. And so that's good as well. Now let's make an attack. If we didn't have the combat reel to fuel the troll chant this turn, then I would have held back. But I think that there's a really good shot of us just getting a 2-for-1 this turn. So far, so good. And Norra to the party. Too bad we don't have a way to take down the Mourned, but is what it is, as they say. It would be. I was thinking in my head, it would be nice if we could kill off the Sinister Poro, get the equipment back, and then put the equipment onto Norra and be able to attack through the Mourned, but we're not quite there. That pokey stick, though.
Safety will cost you.
Home is just around the portal.
All right, let's battle. More than willing to just send everyone in. If we have the full board, you do draw the units with the portal, and they have fleeting and stuff, but I'd much rather that unit just go directly on the board. So here comes the squad. Don't think we'll be playing the Unforgiving Cold. This is something I'd prefer to save once he drops Sejuani onto the board. Okay. You tried, Norra. But she at least got an expensive spell out of the way. Traded her 2-mana self for a 4-mana monster harpoon. Not bad. Now it's Donger time. Okay. Nothing wrong with a little Donger time, am I right? Nothing wrong with that. Oh shit, we should have played the Unforgiving Cold. I knew I meant to play it, but I was really hyped about saying stuff like Donger, and it just slipped right past me. Rip. That would have been pretty big if we got to if we got to cancel the plunder and then he couldn't kill our dude. Would have been pretty nice. All right, here comes the stats and stuff. This is gonna be a make it rain. Oh, and he hits good. He hit well. I guess you have a pretty good shot of hitting good there. Let's be real. Spirits unleashed of his own. I like it. I like it. Oh, that was ours, wasn't it? He wasn't playing it. He took ours. Dick. Oh, man. Okay, I take back anything kind I said about this guy. No, he's not actually playing it. That was ours. Lame-o. Oh, and it's so good in his deck, too. Jeez, you gotta be kidding me. That was... Can you see on this thing? Where's that at? Doesn't say on here. I can't tell if that was his or ours, but... That's some bullshit if you ask me. That's some bullshit. But if we're gonna be real, this game came down to us just sitting around and chit-chatting and not playing our Frostbite. Zap getting the the tag and then taking down our Heimerdinger. We'd be in a much better spot with the Donger on board here. So I think this one's done. Didn't mean to emote, meant to click on the deck. We might be able to draw into something next turn, but this looks pretty horrible. Okay, GG. Alrighty, so yeah, not a bad set of games. You got to showcase the Spirits Unleashed and see some of the other abilities with it. Now, this is one of those kind of interesting spaces, right? There's a couple things with this deck. I think first and foremost, you probably have to play a second pack mentality. This showcased a lot of the problems with Norra and why you see Norra Vagar be a deck. Because as you have these games to where you're getting all the summons, everything's going right, that's great. You can really kind of pop off and get those really big boards. But that's not really guaranteed to win you the game. You can most certainly have everything go right. Your summons are happening. You're popping off the portals. You're getting a bigger board. But you don't hit the overwhelms. You don't hit the elusives. You don't hit, oops, I hit a 7/7 crocodile thing. And those games... they're probably going in your favor, but you do have a real shot of just outright losing as your opponent isn't pressured enough to get away from their game plan, and then they get to say like, "Oops, I popped my conservatory and here's Riptide Rex," right? So they get plenty of time to do that. So that's why you see in those decks they play Vagar. That gives them the way to say, okay, even if this board is completely full, then I can just throw darknesses at your face and not worry about the combats. And where this deck is playing that differently is the two spaces, right? The big one being the pack mentality, which arguably needs a second one. This is a space to where even those games to where we were playing it, we were still struggling to win. And without it, we never would have won. And so it's kind of tough. It's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? If you draw this on turn 4, it doesn't do anything. If you draw it when you don't have a big board, it doesn't do anything. It's a real... not necessarily a win more card, but it's very polarized in what it does, and that it doesn't have a catch-up mechanic attached to it. And that's what you need out of a 7-cost, 8-cost card a lot of the times, right? You play Captain Farron on turn 8, he can catch you up out of a game, right? He can send the 2 Decimates to face, overwhelm for like 3 damage, and then he's hit for 11. That carries you back into a game all on its own. But if you have that empty board and you play Pack Mentality, whoops, it didn't do anything. And so it's kind of an awkward space there. I think this deck might realistically need a second copy of it. But that puts you at more risk of having those really kind of bad draws. The other place, where we were seeing a lot of the wins was with the Unforgiving Cold into Heimerdinger into Overwhelms. I think that's still kind of strong. I think this is a good spot to kind of like stop and assess some of these cards, because where I'm at with this deck is I don't think this is really great right now. I could see this being a good deck dependent on the best of 3 meta that you're running into. I don't think this is going to be a great ladder grinder, but I could definitely see some best of 3 strategies that would be interested in playing this kind of card, especially if you're worried about a lot of, say, like Vayne lineups and Varus lineups and Pantheon lineups that play that one really big, tall unit. And if you're looking to jump into Freylord to get access to the Unforgiving Cold, you might be playing, say, your own Varus, and then you're kind of like smoked in terms of the remainder of the Freylord that you can play. And so this does give you that kind of interesting angle into Freylord that might have some potential for victories there. But I think in this current meta, I'm not super interested. But that's not to say that there's a new set coming out in, I don't know, a month. It has to come out before Christmas, right? You can't release a set not before Christmas. That's when people come out and buy stuff. And so I think there's one coming out before Christmas, and it will see additional cultist cards, these things like the Unforgiving Cold that double cast themselves. That's kind of interesting in the terms of Heimerdinger. We should be seeing the Freylord Darken card, which is just interesting in general. And so some of these concepts might push themselves as being better here in a little bit of time. Or the big thing here is to also keep in mind is the Spirits Unleashed, right? We used it here in terms of this deck, but now if you're going to look towards, say, any deck that can summon units, right? What if we're playing spiders, right? Elise Spiders was a thing before. It may not be a thing anymore. It's probably not, but Elise Spiders with Iceborne Legacy was definitely an archetype. It was definitely an archetype that people played, right? That's a statement, Whether at least I stopped myself before, said that was a good archetype that people used to play. I'm not sure of the validity of that statement, but that is an archetype people used to play. That's valid. That one is certainly valid. People did play it in the past. But the same kind of idea applies there. You're trying to use the Iceborne Legacy for your cards coming out in the future, right? That's a real kind of interesting and powerful thing to build around. Once you pull off the Iceborne Legacy, all of your future spiders are going to be strong. So you don't have to worry about having a landmark hang out on the board. You don't have to worry about having a champion hang out on the board. You just know my future cards are going to be better. And that's the space you see with the Spirits Unleashed, right? I don't quite feel like it's strong enough now, or at least strong enough in this deck, but that does give you some opportunities to think about, right? If you're playing a deck with a lot of summons, or if you're playing a Portals deck, or if you're playing a Heimerdinger deck, or these decks that are generating cards and generating summons in the future, then the Spirits Unleashed has some potential there. So that gives you the opportunity to say, what if I want to play the Opulent Foyer? What if I want to play the Double Bird out of Freylord? What if I want to play just any of these summon things, right? Do any of these things sound like the greatest deck ever? Not right now, but that's the kind of thing that you need to keep in mind as new cards are released and you've played with the Spirits Unleashed, and that, okay, well, maybe it has like a bit of game here in the sense that it kills Zoe, it kills all of these cards in the Draven Jinx deck, kills all of these Boom Baboon based 1 cost or 2 cost value units, and then it also boosts our guys in the future, right? That's a kind of interesting take to think on with the Spirits Unleashed. And so it's definitely better than I initially gave it credit for. I'm pretty sure in my video, I just immediately glossed over this thing and said it was trash. I think it does have a bit of potential to it, but right now might not be the meta for it. And so that's going to do it for us today. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. I hope your days are as frosty as you want them to be. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.